Все добре у всіх?
This video goes beyond footage. It captures moments from a conflict that is still unfolding every day. While the reality on the ground remains intense, content like this often doesn't get the reach it deserves. If you found this important, consider liking the video and leaving a comment with your location. It might seem small, but it directly helps the algorithm push this content to a wider audience. Every interaction increases visibility, and visibility keeps people informed. In the northern Slobozhansky direction, a special operation begins the way many of them do, with silence, patience, and careful observation. Operators from a unit of the Special Operations Forces Ukraine move through the terrain with precision, focused not on speed but on awareness. This isn't about direct confrontation, it's about reconnaissance, gathering information and staying unseen for as long as possible. But out here, the situation can change in seconds. An enemy reconnaissance patrol is detected. The operators react immediately, controlled, decisive. Contact is made, and within moments the patrol is neutralized. The objective seems contained, the immediate threat removed. But in environments like this, nothing happens in isolation, because at the same time, something else is already unfolding. The main force of the enemy group begins a flanking maneuver, moving to engage from another direction. What started as a controlled encounter suddenly shifts into a more complex situation. The SSO group is no longer just observing, they're being targeted, then contact again. Gunfire erupts, sharper this time, more intense. One of the operators finds himself under concentrated fire. Rounds strike close, too close. Dirt kicks up around him, impacts landing just centimeters away. At least one round hits his gear, a direct reminder of how little margin there is between survival and injury. But there's no panic, only reaction. Training takes over. The operator adjusts position instantly, breaking line of sight, using terrain and movement to create space. Every second matters. Every decision has to be immediate, precise. There's no time to think twice, and somehow he breaks contact. No injury, no loss of control. Just movement fast enough, calculated enough to get out of the line of fire. The enemy pressure begins to weaken. Their momentum stalls. What started as an aggressive push turns into hesitation. The flanking maneuver loses its edge, and the attacking force is forced to pull back, rolling away from the engagement both physically and tactically. And just like that, the balance shifts again. The SSO group regains control of the situation. The firefight doesn't escalate further. Instead, it transitions back into the mission, because despite the contact, despite the pressure, the objective remains. They move quickly, collecting documents and materials from the neutralized patrol, intelligence that could shape what happens next. Every piece of information matters, and even under pressure, that part of the mission isn't forgotten. But now it's time to leave, because staying longer means increasing risk. And out here, timing is everything. The group prepares for exfiltration, moving out with the same discipline they arrived with. Every step is controlled, every direction covered, making sure no second contact catches them off guard. And as they begin to disappear back into the terrain, the operation shifts once again. The withdrawal remains tense, even after breaking contact. Every sound is checked, every movement controlled, because the possibility of pursuit is never fully dismissed. The team keeps spacing, covering each other as they move, ensuring no one is exposed for even a second. Step by step, distance is created, the pressure fades, but the awareness doesn't, because out here, the mission isn't over until they are completely clear. In the areas around Mariupol and Zhuhai, the battlefield is no longer defined by lines on a map. It's defined by reach. Strikes are happening far beyond immediate contact zones, targeting the systems that keep everything running. And at the center of it, FP2 kamikaze UAVs. These drones don't just observe. They strike. Fast, direct, and with a clear objective, high-value targets that shape the entire operational picture. Air defense systems like the Tor M1 and Pantsir become primary targets. These systems are designed to protect, to intercept, to control the airspace. But now, they're the ones being hunted. The drones approach low, minimizing detection, closing the distance before any effective response can be organized. Then, impact. A direct strike turns a defensive system into a vulnerable point. What was meant to shield other assets is suddenly removed from the equation. And the strikes don't stop there. Fuel storage sites are hit next. Tanks that once powered movement and sustained operations ignite, sending flames and smoke into the air. Without fuel, mobility slows. Operations become limited. Every vehicle, every movement begins to feel the strain. Then logistics hubs. Critical points where supplies are stored, organized, and distributed. The drones move in with the same precision, targeting structures that keep the entire system functioning. Each strike removes another layer of support, forcing adjustments across multiple levels. And finally, ammunition depots. One of the most volatile targets. A single impact can trigger a chain reaction, secondary explosions tearing through stored munitions. What was once a reserve of firepower becomes a source of destruction itself. Each target is different, but the effect is connected. Air defense weakened. Fuel reduced. Logistics disrupted. Ammunition destroyed. This isn't just damage. It's systematic pressure applied across multiple points at once. The kind of pressure that doesn't just hit the surface, but reaches deeper into how operations are sustained. And as these strikes continue, the structure holding everything together begins to feel the weight. That weight builds slowly at first, then all at once. Air defense gaps begin to appear, not always visible immediately, but enough to change how the airspace is used. Without full coverage, every movement above becomes more risky, more uncertain. What was once protected now has openings, and those openings don't stay empty for long on the ground. The loss of fuel starts to show in movement patterns. Vehicles don't move as freely. Routes are reconsidered. Operations that rely on timing begin to slip, creating small delays that quickly add up. And in a fast-moving environment, even a minor delay can shift the outcome. Logistics disruption cuts even deeper. Supplies that should arrive don't. Equipment sits idle, waiting. Units begin to operate with less certainty about what they have and what they'll get next. That uncertainty spreads, forcing constant adjustments instead of planned actions. And then there's the ammunition. Without steady resupply, firepower becomes limited. Engagements are shorter, more cautious. Every decision carries more weight because resources can't be replaced as quickly. The ability to sustain pressure begins to fade. And all of this happens at once, not in isolation, but together, compounding, overlapping, reinforcing each other. Because when air defense, fuel, logistics, and ammunition are all under pressure, the system holding them together starts to bend. And the longer that pressure continues, the harder it becomes to hold everything in place. In this sector, operators from the Special Operations Forces Ukraine are taking the fight to the air, deploying unmanned combat aerial systems to strike with precision. What you're seeing is not random. It's controlled, deliberate, and targeted. The focus goes beyond direct damage. These UAVs are hitting surface vessels moving through the Dnipro River Delta, disrupting movement, cutting off routes, and slowly breaking the flow that keeps operations running. As this video comes to an end, remember, this isn't just footage. It's a window into a conflict that is still unfolding every single day. The reality on the ground remains intense, and stories like these don't always reach the audience they deserve. If this video meant something to you, take a moment to like it and leave a comment sharing where you're watching from. It may seem like a small step, but it plays a big role in helping this content reach more people. Because every interaction increases visibility, and visibility keeps the world informed.